Hey guys, what's going on? In today's video, I'm doing a full review of the Greenworks 60-volt 42-inch electric riding mower, specifically the CRZ426 model. We're going to go over everything you need to know, from all its features to the stuff no one really talks about. So, if you're thinking about getting one, or if you already own it and just want to learn more, this video is for you. So, the first thing I want to talk about is the design. This machine looks solid and well built. It really feels like a complete piece of equipment, not something cheap or halfway done. This is the 42-inch version, which means the cutting deck gives you a 42-inch cut, but the mower itself is actually a bit wider when you include the frame and wheels. It is controlled using two handles, which is what gives it the zero-turn name. Instead of a regular steering wheel, you use the handles to move forward, reverse, and turn, and it can spin in place. It makes it so much easier to move around tight spots and get clean lines without having to do a bunch of extra turns. This model is powered by four 60-volt batteries, which are located right under the seat, but it actually has space for up to 6 batteries at the same time. With 4 batteries, you can mow around an acre and a half, maybe a bit more depending on your terrain and grass height. If you load it with all 6 batteries, you can cover up to 2.5 acres on a single charge. Now, there's also another version of this mower that uses 80-volt batteries. At first, it looks almost identical, but there are some important differences, and I'll explain those later on in the video. When you receive this machine, it'll be delivered by a truck with a liftgate, and they'll roll it over to your place on a pallet jack, because this thing weighs over 500 pounds. But don't worry, the assembly process is actually really simple. I've made a separate video showing the full unboxing and assembly step by step, so if you're interested in seeing how it all comes together, feel free to check that out as well. When it comes to using this machine, it's really simple. It comes with 2 keys, and starting it up is just like a car. You turn the key all the way, and when you let go, it snaps back into place. After that, the display screen lights up, and that's how you know the mower is ready to go. On the screen, you'll see the average battery percentage across all the batteries. You'll also notice 2 buttons on the side. One of them activates high-speed mode, which makes the mower drive faster. I only recommend using that mode if you're mowing in a wide open space, because it really picks up speed. You'll see a green indicator light when that mode is on. The other button is for boosting the blade speed, and just like the other one, it lights up green when it's active. And finally, to turn the blades on or off, there's a switch. When it's pushed down, the blades are off, and when you flip it up, the blades turn on. Now, controlling the machine is really easy. Once you turn it on, you'll need to wait for a short beep. That sound lets you know the mower is fully ready to go. After that, you can start moving. When you push both handles forward, the mower moves forward, and when you pull them back, it goes in reverse. The reverse speed is always slower, which might seem like a downside at first, but it's actually a safety feature to help you stay in control. You can also move each handle independently, since each one controls a motor on the rear wheels. That's what gives you that zero-turn capability. It lets you spin and maneuver in tight spaces with ease. And when you're done or want to park the mower, you just push both handles outward, and that automatically puts the machine into parking mode. Now, if you turn on the machine and it doesn't move, it is usually one of 2 things. The first reason could be that the blades were left in the on position when you started it. The mower always needs to be turned on with the blades off, otherwise it won't move. The second reason could be the seat sensor. If the sensor doesn't detect that someone is sitting down, the mower won't move either. So if you're not seated properly, or if you just turned it on while standing next to it, it's not going to go anywhere. I've seen some people bypass the seat sensor so it's always activated, but I wouldn't recommend doing that. It's a safety feature that helps prevent accidents, like the machine taking off on its own if no one's sitting on it. When it comes to adjusting the cutting height, you've got this lever right here. It lets you choose how short or tall you want your grass, and it moves really smoothly. The settings range from as low as 1.5 inches all the way up to 4.5 inches, which is perfect depending on the type of grass you have or the time of year. For a regular yard, I usually keep it around 2.5 inches. It gives a nice clean cut without scalping the grass. And the best part is that the whole deck lifts evenly, so your cut stays smooth and level across your entire lawn. Now, speaking of the deck, this mower uses two separate motors and two blades underneath to handle the cutting. One thing to keep in mind is that the deck sits a bit high when you're getting on the mower. The edge of the deck might seem like an easy place to step, but I really don't recommend it. It's not designed to support your weight. On the right side of the mower, you'll see the discharge chute. You can also buy a separate adapter that connects to a bagging system if you prefer to collect the clippings instead of leaving them on the ground. And if you'd rather mulch, you can remove the chute and install a mulch cover. Just a quick heads up, I'm not sponsored by Greenworks or anything like that. I actually bought this mower with my own money. I'll leave a link down in the description for this exact model and all the accessories you can get for it. If you decide to buy through that link, it won't cost you anything extra, but I do earn a small commission, and that really helps me keep the channel going and continue making honest reviews like this one. Alright, so let's continue with the video. Now, on the front of this mower, you'll find a towing hitch where you can attach a small trailer or cart if you ever need to haul something around your yard. It also comes with built-in headlights, which are super helpful, especially if you're mowing early in the morning or later in the evening when the light starts to fade. To turn them on, you just turn the key one position to the left and the lights will come on. Right down here where you rest your feet, Greenworks added a textured surface to help prevent slipping, which is a nice touch. It's also slightly angled, so your feet sit comfortably while you're mowing, and that just makes the whole ride feel a lot more relaxed. The front tires are 11 inches and rotate 360 degrees, which helps a lot with turning and smooth steering. On the back, you've got these large heavy-duty tires that I absolutely love. They're about 10 inches wide and 19 inches in diameter. They really help with traction and stability, especially on uneven ground. One quick tip, make sure to check the tire pressure when the mower first arrives. Mine came with the pressure already set just right from the factory, but it's always a smart move to double check before your first ride. On the back of the mower, there's a small built-in cargo compartment that's actually really handy. If you need to carry something around the yard, like tools, a small cooler, or something else, it has a weight capacity of up to 200 pounds, which is pretty solid for a built-in space. This is also where you'd attach the collector bag if you're using the bagging system to pick up clippings instead of discharging or mulching. And right below that, you have the towing hitch, where you can connect a small utility trailer or garden cart. It's rated to tow up to 300 pounds, which is great if you need to move things like soil, mulch, or firewood around your property. Another thing I really like about this machine is the seat. It's surprisingly comfortable. It has a built-in suspension system, so even if you're riding over bumpy or uneven terrain, it does a great job absorbing the shocks. There's also a lever underneath the seat that lets you slide it forward or backward, so you can adjust it to fit your height. And to make it even better, it comes with armrests where you can rest your hands while mowing. On the left side, you've got a cup holder and a small compartment where you can place your phone or anything else you want to keep within reach while mowing. And the best part is, it comes with two built-in USB ports. So if you need to charge your phone, a Bluetooth speaker, or any other small device while you're working, you can plug it in right there. So this mower basically has all the features you'd want, not just for comfort, but also for practicality and performance. When it comes to the riding experience and how it actually performs, that's where things get even better. Once you get the hang of it, operating this mower is really simple. And even though it's a big machine, maneuvering it in tight spaces or around obstacles is surprisingly easy, thanks to the zero-turn design and how well it's built. Now, just to give you an idea, while the machine is turned on but not moving, it makes almost no noise. You'll only hear a few small fans running to keep things cool, but that's about it. When you start driving, it's still super quiet. The only sound is from the wheels moving, and that's barely noticeable. Once you turn on the blades, the noise level goes up to around 76 decibels, and if you switch the blades to the highest speed, it goes up to about 80 decibels. That's still way quieter than a typical gas-powered lawn tractor, which usually runs at around 95 to 100 decibels. Just to put that into perspective, the mower I've been using before this one hits about 90 decibels when it's running, and that's already noticeably louder than the Greenworks. So with this mower, you're getting a much more peaceful mowing experience, not just for you but also for your neighbors. When it comes to the batteries, one of the things I really like is that they come as individual packs instead of one big unit. That makes it much easier to replace a single battery if needed, rather than having to swap out one large expensive battery. And on top of that, this mower comes with a 4-year warranty, not just on the machine, but also on the batteries. So if something goes wrong or the batteries stop holding a charge, Greenworks will replace them for you. Now, the only downside I've found so far is that the mower doesn't have a plug to charge directly from the wall. You can't just plug the mower in like some other models. That's the one thing I wish they had included. But the good news is that depending on how many batteries your mower comes with, you'll also get a charger for every 2 batteries. These chargers are actually pretty fast. If you're charging just one battery, it usually takes about 45 to 50 minutes. If you're charging 2 at once, it takes around 90 minutes total, which is honestly pretty quick compared to other systems out there. The only thing to keep in mind is that these chargers have built-in fans, and they can get a little noisy, especially if you're charging multiple batteries at the same time. Also, each charger pulls about 600 watts, so if you're running 3 chargers at once, that adds up fast. It's a good idea to keep an eye on your power setup, because drawing that much at once could trip your breaker if you're not careful. Whether you get the 4 battery or 6 battery version, each battery is 60 volts and 8 amp hours, which comes out to approximately 432 watt hours per battery. That's quite a bit of power. If you're running the mower with all 6 batteries installed, that gives you a total of 2592 watt hours. That's a lot of energy, and it's what allows this mower to cover up to 2.5 acres on a single charge, depending on your mowing conditions and how you're using it. Now, there's a similar model to this mower called the CRZ428. At first look, it looks almost identical, and even though there are a few small differences, the biggest one is that it runs on 80-volt batteries instead of 60-volt ones. You might think that sounds like an upgrade because of the higher voltage, but here's where it gets interesting. The most common version of the CRZ428 comes with 80-volt 4 amp hour batteries, which only give you about 288 watt hours each. Compare that to the 60-volt 8 amp hour batteries used in this model, which give you 432 watt hours each. That's a pretty big difference in overall energy and runtime. There is also a version of the CRZ428 that comes with 80-volt 5 amp hour batteries, which provide about 360 watt hours per battery. But even with that setup, you're still getting less total runtime compared to the 60-volt batteries. So even though the CRZ428 uses higher voltage, it actually ends up giving you less runtime per battery overall. And something really important to know is that the batteries between these two models are not interchangeable. You can't swap 60 volts batteries into the 80 volts mower or the other way around. One thing I've seen a lot of people get wrong about this mower is how the battery setup works. Some folks say you need at least 2 batteries to run it, and I've even heard others say you need 4. But that's not actually true. The mower runs all the batteries in parallel, which means even if you only have one battery installed, it'll still power on and work just fine. And it doesn't matter which slot you put it in, any of them will do the job. That said, I do recommend using all the batteries at the same time if you have them. That way, the power draw is spread evenly across all the batteries, which helps them stay balanced and wear evenly over time. It also gives you the longest possible runtime, so you don't have to stop in the middle of a job to swap or recharge. One concern I do have with this machine is what happens when you need to push it manually. For example, if you store it in a place where you can't drive it in all the way, like a tight storage unit, or if it runs out of battery and you can't charge it right away, you might need to push it by hand. But here's the thing. Even if you put the handles in the neutral position, right in the middle, the mower still won't move. It's locked in place and pushing it won't do anything. The only way to fix that is by manually putting the mower in neutral using the neutral bypass knobs. This is where things get a little tricky. On the back of the mower, you'll find a small knob near the right rear wheel. You have to push it hard to the left and then down. It might take a few tries, but once it clicks, that wheel is now in neutral and free to roll. But here's the catch. That only releases the right wheel. To release the left one, you'll need to find the second bypass knob. which is located under the deck, just below the seat. It's not super easy to get to, but once you push that one the same way, left and down, it disconnects the left wheel as well. After that, the mower rolls freely, and I was honestly surprised by how easy it is to push once both wheels are disengaged. Now here's something that really caught my attention. Even when the neutral bypass knobs are active, the mower will still turn on and move if you try to use it. That surprised me. But according to the manual, you're not supposed to drive the mower with the bypass engaged. That's because it can damage the motors or the transmission since it's not locked into its proper operating mode. It's something you have to repeat every time you need to push the mower manually. Honestly, I wish Greenworks had made this part a little easier. It would be great if there was a simpler way to disengage both wheels at once without having to reach around and struggle with those knobs. And the last thing I want to talk about is the cleaning process. If you want to keep your mower in good shape, it's not recommended to use a pressure washer or spray it directly with a hose. Since this machine runs on electronics and batteries, too much water could cause damage over time. The proper way to clean it is by using a damp cloth to wipe down the exterior and any dirty surfaces. Now, when it comes to cleaning underneath the deck, that's where you can use water. The mower comes with a special adapter that connects to a garden hose. It goes right here on the deck. Once you hook it up, just turn the water on and run the blades for a few seconds. That helps clean out the grass buildup inside the deck without risking damage to the rest of the machine. This machine is definitely a beast, and if you're looking for a powerful, quiet, and easy to use electric mower, this is honestly an awesome deal. This has been my most expensive video to make so far, and I probably won't recover that cost. But that's okay. The only thing I ask is that you give this video a like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And if you're thinking about buying this machine, I'll leave the link in the description. If you buy through that link, it won't cost you anything extra, but I may earn a small commission, and that really helps me keep making honest, helpful videos like this one. Also, I'll keep posting more videos about this mower, so if you have any questions or want to see a specific test, feel free to drop a comment below and I'll do my best to cover it in an upcoming video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.